a slow fade. Isn't that a song?
Yes.
Yeah. So what I wrote is, when we accept quote unquote good enough, then we lower our standards, but we also start a process. So basically, like, it kind of, again, in the beginning, usually, or many times in the beginning, we have higher standards. Mm-hmm. If we don't, there's already a problem. But we should have really high standards. And so we set these high standards, or we don't even necessarily set them, but we have these high standards. And then I'm guilty of it. This podcast is just as much for me as it is for anybody. But we kind of like, we have this slow fade because we are like, well, okay, that's good enough. Let's just move on. Maybe we're in a hurry or whatever, and we didn't, prep or something. And so we're like, that's good enough. So not only there's kind of two levels, I think, of the downfall. Is one, it lowers the standards. So now it's not as good, and sometimes it's minuscule. Like, nobody would notice yet. And so you lower the standard, and that's good enough. And then, but what happens, and this is the bad part, is it's like backsliding, basically, is you lower the standard, and now by doing that, you actually start a process of continual lowering of the standards. Mm-hmm. And so, I mean, I didn't put that in the notes, but backsliding is a good example, right? It's like you miss church.
You start to lose your standards and your holiness and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, in fact, I didn't even think of it that way. But yeah, that's true too, is you can, a church can do that. A church can lose their standards, what we typically call standards or values, holiness. And then pretty soon, I mean, it's not very long, and they're just, you don't even recognize it as an apostolic church.
Yeah, you start pushing the line back further and further. Yeah.
And so I think that everything by nature will deteriorate if you don't keep up on it, right? I mean, our bodies, our houses, our cars.
Yeah, just landscaping.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like the first thing I thought of is probably because my mom, and she loves to garden and stuff, and she'll keep it up, and she's like, pulling weeds every single day and stuff, and we'll be gone for a week, and we'll come back, and it's just like, oh my word, because she didn't maintain it. She's like, I have a mess back there. She said that today. She's like, I have a mess back there. And I think that's like similar, just like stuff starts growing up, the weeds, so to speak, start growing up, and pretty soon it just looks like this monumental task, but had you stayed up on it, it wouldn't have gotten to that point.
Well, and here's the other thing, and this is another reason I put like fade, slow fade, and that song probably was in the back of my mind. Who is like George Clare, one of those old groups, right?
I don't even know.
Or something. I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh no. It's
Reverend Praise used to sing.
Isn't it Casting Crowns? Is that
No, I think it is.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good song.
But
anyway. Yeah.
We're losing listeners by the second. Yeah. Just joking.
So
please stay. It'll get better.
She'll stop.
I'll stop, guys. I'll stop.
But here's the other thing that happens is we can get used to problems. And so it can get so bad that, let's use the landscaping, for example, is you could have weeds in your parking lot or whatever, and, you used to keep up on it and you let it go, and now there's weeds. But then now it's home. So you get so used to it that maybe you're going to have guests over and you clean and get ready, but you don't even notice the weeds because you have gotten so used to it. So that's the other fade, is that, and that's what is kind of scary, is like if you want to be excellent and that guest comes, and I mean, obviously in Sunday school, kids are more forgiving, but still, if it's like, hey, somebody says, we have top-notch Sunday school, we have awesome Sunday school, and so they come and they are expecting awesome, top-notch Sunday school, and we have let things slide, and we're like, even if we know somebody special, whatever, is coming, and we're like, okay, let's get ready and everything, and we miss things because we've gotten so used to
just seeing it. You don't even see it anymore.
Or we're like suddenly aware of all the things that we've kind of let go, and it's like almost too late to fix it.
Yes.
Yeah, and then you pay.
Yeah.
Or like even oh, sorry, I lost it. I knew I
That's
had
okay.
one. I had a thought and then it's gone. Oh,
Oh,
hold on, it'll come back.
it's fleeting.
It's slippery one. Oh, this is what I was gonna say. I got it now. Even like somebody, like my not fear, but I think what would be really like negative is if somebody were to come to Sunday school and then come a couple years later and be like, "Oh, this used to be so good.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
This Sunday school used to be top notch, like you said, and
Yeah.
now it's like, what happened?" And we might not even see it.
Yes.
But somebody else noticing it, like, what happened? You know, it
Yep.
used to be so good.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we want it to be the other way around, right? We want it
Right.
to like
Right.
improve.